Hello students, in the previous videos we were discussing about the osmosis, osmotic pressure, diffusion, active and passive transport. Now today we will see turgidity. Okay, I think so I have used this term in some of the previous videos also. But here we will see this turgidity in detail. See, the meaning of turgidity is, we all know that the root hair cells are permeable. Okay, what to write? That is, the cells of the root hairs are permeable. And since they are permeable, so they allow the movement of the water. Clear? Now, the cell sap of these cells, they are highly concentrated. So what we can write? That is, the cell sap are highly concentrated. And because they are highly concentrated, by the process of endoosmosis, the water present in the soil will enter into the cell. Clear? See what I have said you. That is, the root hair cells are highly permeable and the liquid that is present inside the cell, that is cell sap, is highly concentrated. And because of its high concentration, the water that is present outside the surrounding, that is inside the soil, it will move in. And if the water will move in because of the permeability of the cell membrane, then that is the permeability of the cell wall, then the cell will swell up because the cell will absorb water. And in that situation, a condition will come when your cell will be completely filled with water. That is, we can say that the cell vacuole, it will be filled with water. Okay, and that condition is called as the turgid condition. When the cell absorb the water from the surrounding and it will completely swell up, then that condition is called as the turgid condition. Now, suppose this is the vacuole of the cell and it has absorbed the water from the surrounding medium. Now, the water has moved in and because of that, the cell has swelled up or it has regained its maximum size. Okay, now because of this complete size, there will be pressure on the walls of the cell membrane. Okay, understood? Because the cell has absorbed the water, cell has already swollen up, and because of this, it is exerting a pressure on the wall. And the pressure which is exerted because of the turgidity is called as the turgor pressure. So, we got the two terms. Number one, when your cell will absorb water by the process of endoosmosis and your cell will become completely filled with water. Okay, then a condition will arise and the condition is called as the turgidity. Now, because of this turgidity, a pressure will develop on the walls of the cell and that is called as the turgor pressure. Clear? At the same time, children, the wall, this wall will also exert a pressure against the pressure exerted by the turgidity. So, against the turgor pressure, a pressure will exerted from the wall side inside. And this is called as the wall pressure. So here we got two terms. Number one, after swollen, the pressure is exerted on the wall and this is called as the turgor pressure. Now, at the same time, these walls will also exert a pressure on inside, and that is called as the wall pressure. Now these two pressure, they will counterbalance each other. Okay, and if they counterbalance each other, there will be the condition of the equilibrium and our cell remain persist. That is, our cell will remain in its complete swollen form. So this is about the turgidity. Now we have to see the significance of the turgidity. Clear? See the significance of turgidity. Number one, turgidity brings about movement of water. What to write? Turgidity brings about movement of water. Now see, how movement of water? As we all know that in case of root hairs, suppose these are the cells and this cell has absorbed water from the surrounding by the process of endoosmosis, and water has already moved in. Now because of the presence of the water, the cell will swell up. Okay, because it will gain maximum water, and the condition is called as the turgidity. Now suppose this cell has swelled up after absorbing water. Okay, the cell has become turgid. Now this cell is still less turgid. So the water will move from more turgid cell to the less turgid cell. Clear? So this is the first significance of the turgidity, that is, turgidity brings about movement of water within the cell. Now see the second significance. This turgidity is essential for growth. Turgidity is essential for growth. Okay. Now how it is essential for the growth? Once again, the cell will absorb the water by the process of endoosmosis. Once again, the cell will swell up. It will increase in size, and as it is increasing in size, it means it is growing. And we can say that it is essential for the growth. One more significance. It is responsible for shape of the cell. Once again, after absorbing water, the cell will swell up. It will regain a proper shape. It will gain a proper size and proper shape. So we can say that the significance of the turgidity is it is essential for growth as well as shape of the cell. See, next significance of turgidity. And next is turgidity provides rigidity. Okay, rigidity to soft cells. Clear? The root hairs, the cells of the root hairs, after gaining water, they will become rigid. Children, you must have seen the cracks on the wall. Okay, the cracks on the soil because of the growth of the plant. This is the significance of the turgidity. Now see what happens. Because of this turgidity, the cell swelled up, and because of the swelling of the cell, the soft cells, they regain a proper rigidity, and because of this rigidity, they grow, and if they grow, then they can make cracks in the soil as well as we can see cracks on the walls also. So this is one more significance, that is turgidity provide rigidity to the soft cells. See, next, it is also responsible for wilting of the leaves. Now see, what is the meaning of wilting? The meaning of wilting is excessive loss of water. Excessive loss of water. Okay. Now see, during the afternoon, what happens? The cell, if it has absorbed water by the process of endoosmosis, then by the process of exoosmosis, when there is maximum transpiration, then water from inside the cell will move out and your cell will shrink. So the cell will shrink because of the turgidity also. Clear? So if the turgidity is there, if the cell has become swollen up, then during the afternoon there is a loss of water, and if there is excessive loss of water, then that is called as the wilting, and the leaves will droop down. Okay, because the water loss has taken place from the leaves, and by the evening the leaves can come to its original shape once again, because then they absorb the water. So this is about the wilting of the leaves. Now next, turgidity regulates movement of cell. One more significance, that is turgidity helps in movement of cells. That is, it helps in opening and closing of stomata. Okay, we all know the structure of the stomata is something like this. Clear? We can draw it like this. These are the cells of the stomata. Now see what happens. The guard cells, this. Okay, let me draw it like this. The guard cells of this stomata, they will absorb water from the tissues. Okay, and if they will absorb water, then these two will swell, or they will attain their maximum growth, maximum tension, and because of this it will stretch like this, and this stomatal pore will open. That is called as the opening of the stomata. So what happens? By the process of, once again, endoosmosis, water will move in, the cell will become turgid, and if the cell will become turgid, it will move distant apart, and if it will stretch and move distant apart, then there will be opening of the stomata. Now during the dark time, that during the night time, what happens? Exosmosis occurs and the stomata gets closed. Okay, because of the process of the exosmosis, there is a water loss, and because of the water loss, it gets closed. So it is responsible for opening and closing of the stomata. Even it is responsible for the movement in touch-me-not plant. Because of this turgor pressure, there is a movement in the touch-me-not plant. Now see what happens. We all have seen, if we touch the leaves of the touch-me-not plant, then automatically they droop down. Okay, how they droop down? Because the plants, they are very sensitive because of the turgor pressure at the base of the leaf. that is called as the pulvinus. This we will see in the next chapter, and the detail of this we will discuss in the next chapter. Clear? Suppose this is the base of the leaf called as the pulvinus. Now see what happens. The cells present here, they are filled with water. Okay, and because they are filled with water, they are exerting a pressure. That is called as the turgor pressure. Okay, and because of this pressure, the position remains distant. That is, the position remains straight and the leaves are in the normal condition. As soon as if we touch this leaf, then because of the sensitiveness, the water will move down, and if the water will move down, then the leaf will droop down. Okay, so the filling of the water over here and creation of the turgor pressure is responsible for the movement in the plant, that is touch me not. Clear? After this, turgor pressure in the root cells build up the root pressure. Definitely, if in case of root cells the pressure is there, the turgidity is there, then definitely they will build up the pressure in the root hairs, and the size and shape of these root hairs will grow. So this is all about the turgidity. Okay. Now our next topic will be flaccidity.